Yo, nice. Yeah, for sure, Biggs. Just a coffee and friends, right? And Euphoric Intentions. Maybe one day that won't even be me. I think about that. I think about who I would give this to, like if I passed away or something. Maybe nobody. Maybe I would just die and keep the password a secret, you know what I mean? And it would just be like forever untouched on the internet or something. Some channels do that. It seems like none of them do that well though when they like pass the channel on to somebody else. Who will be euphoric next? Like there's a lineage of succession for everything in this world. When we first met, yeah, maybe, dude. I've changed a bunch of my habits, and I've gone through a whole growth process, and I've like formed new habits, gotten rid of other habits. I've like built a constitution. I've had to rebuild my constitution a little bit, you know, so it's kind of like changing from a solid to a liquid to a gas kind of thing, you know? I'm still in gold, by the way, which is good. We kept that gold place. I'll just have to make sure I'm really on before I go back in to that ranked matchmaking again. No, remember what I said like earlier today, I think it was? I think anything's possible, but I think the manner of doing something, like as soon as you do something, it's always normalized. I think everything runs off of basically, in essence, like a returning to its point of origin. And I think that it's like the origin of all things is like basically normal in nature. So it's like as soon as anything accomplishes like anything, it's essentially normalized. But I think anything's possible. But that being said, it's like as soon as rationale has like its pathway, then essentially everything becomes normalized. And it makes sense. But that's how dreams, I feel like they can be that making sense, but they're also the furthest thing away. It's like, imagine that like everything originates with some interpretive system. It's like dreams are this interpretive system, you know what I mean? So at the same point in time, they can be connected to the like source of all things, but they're normal in that we have dreams, but they don't fall into the same category as things that we do in our waking reality. And of course, there's obviously literature, which basically, you know, is founded and has principles for all these things, but it just is a matter of whether or not you want to take those steps yourself to try to come to conclusions as to what things are. How different are you in comparison to like everything else in your world, you know? Is life different for you? Is it the same thing? You know, the more that you rely on personality, the more that it might be everything requires an explanation from you. I think limits give the idea of change though. A limit is something that is opening up, it's freeing. I don't think that you should look at limits as like something which holds things back. I think it gives things footing, and it gives things footing to be able to move from where they are. So in that way, limits are in a sense, allowing you to go somewhere. Because then you understand. And once you understand, you can see what possibly could be. Or maybe even what you want to be. Do you believe in aliens? There's a lot of theories on this. That's deep, thanks, yeah. I mean, it's just years of experience of talking, you know, just like a professor or something, like talking in front of a class. I've just spoken in front of the camera for like years and years and years now. And I've thought about a lot of this stuff myself. You think there are other life forms? Have you ever heard of the problem of like the Fermi paradox? Do you know what the Fermi paradox is? Do you know what that is? No, the Fermi paradox is, so the universe is so big that essentially it's guaranteed. So this is the Fermi paradox. This is like accepted by NASA scientists and everyone in legitimate science. So the Fermi paradox is there's so many stars in the universe that it's basically guaranteed that there's extraterrestrials. But the Fermi paradox is, why don't we ever see any extraterrestrials? So it's just the massive nature of the universe says that there's 100% chance there's other living beings out there that are intelligent like us. But the paradox is, why don't we ever see any? Or why haven't we come across any? That's the Fermi paradox. And there's lots of solutions to it. It seems like every mainstream scientist has their own solution as to why it makes sense that we haven't discovered alien life. But that's the Fermi paradox. That's a paradox that's accepted by like mainstream scientists. There's like, given how big the universe is, it's guaranteed there's life out there. But then why don't we see any or find any? And there's lots of explanations. We don't see them because they're too far away. I don't think we'll ever encounter them. Yeah, there's like one thing that it's like, light travel is just not possible. Like traveling at the speed of light is just not possible. So you'll never come across another civilization ever. It's just that big. Space is just that huge. I have another explanation though. I like to think that the world is like a multiverse in itself, and like everybody is like their own universe. So it's like essentially other people are like ET to you technically. Just like everybody's like ET. It's like Men in Black. Like everybody's an alien inside, you know? We all have something distant to each other, and we all have something related to each other at the same time. But see, for my definition to work, people have to accept like a different understanding. Everybody likes to look at everyone and think we're all just the same thing, you know? But I think a person's habits, in essence, project like a connection with what their metaphysical body might be, which is probably more similar to like what an alien would look like. But see, that's again me just like making up, you know, something off a feeling. It's just a feeling. It's 100% just like a feeling of just like, you know what? If life does expand itself into like the most complicated manners possible, then perhaps, you know, this is the most complicated that it could get while relating to something simple at the same time. So it's like, yeah, we've come in contact with aliens all the time. Like I'm an alien to everybody else, you know? But see, then it's like stupid at the same time, because it's like, I'm saying that everybody's an alien to everybody. So it's self-defeating. It's self-defeating. That's why I say like anything accomplished in this world is normalized. So it's like no matter how extravagant or how profound anything's gonna be, it's just in essence essentially gonna be something that becomes a normalized experience. Who would volunteer to space travel for their whole life, raising children in space and dying, then rinse and repeat? You know what? It's like I said, maybe what people do in their habits are metaphysical projections of like what those things are. Like think about like people that don't have a home. Like think about people that live in the military and they just go from base to base to base to base. They're in a lot of ways living a life similar to one that you're painting, where people just travel through space and raise children. There's essentially military families that have been families for a long time, and that's essentially what they do. They travel from place to place to place and just raise a family, and they move and meet people, then move again, whatever. But see, like I said, if you accept my reasoning of like how the world works, it's like there's really nothing extraordinary other than life itself. Life is the miraculous already. You know what I mean? Like the fact that this color picture is present in our lives. And the only scary thing about it is it can like take you out of the moment as much as it puts you in the moment. It can like distract you from its purpose, which means that in essence, reality can kill you, which is true, which is the scary aspect of it, which is also the miraculous aspect of it. Death, the fact that we die because it's unexplainable. So there's your miracle. You don't have to look, there's my explanation of magic to you, real magic. It's like death happens. That's actual magic, in my opinion. It's here, and then it's gone. But see, I reside in much more of a philosophical plane of thinking, you know? It's not necessarily like, it's something that's logically provable. You don't necessarily need testifiable evidence. It's like, I can understand it through an argument with myself. Just by speaking aloud, it makes sense. And then in that way, you'll never know like how close you are to understanding everything, because it's gonna be immediate. And like I said, in that way, everything's amazing and not at the same time. Um, Why are they able to see beyond the Milky Way galaxy but not monitor the Milky Way galaxy? You would think that they would have an answer to whether there is other life in the Milky Way. Yeah, well, their answer is no up to this point. They have an answer. Their answer is no. The only hope that science has right now of like proving life. Think about it like this. Like, think about information technology. Like, I'll give you a very estranged thought. You want to hear like a very estranged thought? What if, as soon as you think this way, there's no way of thinking any other way? Like, what if you only come to this form of reasoning and this state of consciousness once you do away with any other form of reasoning? It's like a city. It's like the city consumes something. And as soon as it understands that, it says nothing is different or outside of its understanding of intelligence. And if there really was truly an intelligence that was other than yours, you wouldn't know it unless you were in it. But if you were in that intelligence, you wouldn't know this one. There's like really a strange thought for you that I've had before. But it's just like there's no way of knowing, because as soon as you come into this state of consciousness or like reasoning, then you can't perceive the way of life that exists without this like thought of existence. But no, like in terms of like mainstream science, like the only alien life they expect to find, if they ever find any, is like a microorganism or something under like Europa's like moon or something or whatever, Titan, I don't know, beneath the ice of Europa or something like that. Or Titan's moons or whatever it is, like they're sending a mission up right now actually where it's like going up into, it's like drilling into like one of the moons to see if it can like find microorganisms beneath the surface of the ice on a moon, on another planet, from a moon on another planet in our solar system. But no, like their answer as to why their answer is no, there is no extraterrestrial life in our solar system. Like I said, if you want to accept things, you can accept my line of reasoning, but it's like, it's just pure philosophy. It's not like, it's not grounded in like scientific evidence or anything like that, you know?
Which like probably wasn't the greatest because there was like a lot. It was like fun. It was fun.
Do I think we evolved from something smaller with life, like in the true beginning, or something else besides humans? You know what? Like I said, I sort of believe in everything, so it's like I believe there's an explanation that everything comes into being like a different way, basically. But just entertaining your question, it's like, you know, I think that I'll give you another estranged thought. You want to know how much I've just tried to think different thoughts, right? It's not like I've tried to like think of what's true, even to that extent. I've just tried to understand what, like, I've tried to think of like really strange and weird thoughts just to like see if I can come up with something really complicated, basically. I came up with this idea that like all life forms have a consciousness, and like the human being is a consciousness itself. It's a state of existence. So everything exists independently, but the human being exists independently as well. So it's always existed. Yeah, but these are like estranged, like I said, I'm titling these like estranged thoughts because it's like, I'm literally not trying to figure things out. I'm trying to come up with like the most complicated way to like express something that I can, right? So it's like, what if humans and all other living forms had their own state of consciousness, but the human being was just a state of consciousness? So it means it exists independently. But then at that same point in time, the human state of consciousness experiences every other state of consciousness. So who's to say that all life didn't evolve from humans, right? That's weird philosophy for you, because then it's a top-down day. It's ET day, a strange thoughts day. Yeah, gotcha. ET. There you go. ET exists because there's definitely estranged thoughts. But like, yeah, so I mean, I could argue philosophically or whatever if I wanted to that it's like all life evolves from like human beings. And you can even give reasons why like scientific readings give you certain readings. You know what I mean? But it's just like everything has an independent state of consciousness. And as it experiences other states of consciousness, then those states of consciousness are become existent through one state of consciousness. So it's like animals actually come from human beings. And you could just say that the human being is such a complicated form of consciousness that it has to have a reasoning. So it understands what it can and can't communicate to itself. So there's your explanation as to why you've gotten all the scientific readings you have. Because you, as the state of consciousness, understand what would break your state of consciousness. Yeah, that's like an estranged thought for you. Dude, I've thought of these things. If you browsed on my channel, like my stuff, I've like thought of all this stuff. I've like written it down in most cases. I've just literally tried to like think of everything I can. It's like I had nothing else to do, man. What do other people do in their spare time? I don't know. Somebody was out playing basketball. I was like writing. I was trying to come up with like the most complicated thought I could come up with, basically. I like listened to this guy on YouTube one time. His name is like Michael with Vsauce, and he was like, we're born too early to like what was it? I don't know. We were born too early to explore the stars, but to us is given the charge of like exploring thought. And one time I thought like, all right, whatever. You know, so I just took my time and like literally wrote basically everything out that I could. Knowledge of everything make you the most important person ever. But sure, see, the statement is a contradiction to itself, because if you're a person, by definition, a person is something that's normalized. A person exists in a place of homeostasis. So if you're the most important person, it's like being the rudest nice guy ever. Does that make sense? It's like he was the rudest nice guy ever, which would ultimately just cancel each other out, and you're just a normal dude if you were the most important person. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. I think that things operate like that. It's like there's a positive and negative spin to everything. Nice, we got like some classic hip hop in here. But yeah, that's why I think that would work. You would just be like the most average, you know, in the most mundane way. It's like being a famous person. It's like famous people really aren't that famous to like family. Or like some people that have to deal with them like personally or on a business terms. It's like essentially everybody experiences the same thing, kind of. Because like even to famous people, they have to deal with people like personally and business-wise. You know how ants will never figure life out? I feel like you and I are like that. We're on the brink of figuring it all out. What did I say before? I was like, I said something to the extent of, oh yeah. I said, it's like you can come up with any understanding by like speaking and reasoning things out to yourself, but at that same point in time, you'll never know how close you are to understanding because it's immediate. Understanding is immediate, I think. I think understanding is immediate. I think that words are an expression of air. They allow us to breathe. They allow us to understand the difference of things. They allow us to perceive difference. But that might not necessarily be the truth. Maybe the air is a sense of what's wrong. Maybe the air is what gives us the sense of color. It allows us to have pictures and to be able to orchestrate things. Maybe knowledge is like unbearable. Maybe the truth is unbearable. It's stagnant. It's still. It's dead. Maybe the truth is death. Maybe air is what gives us life. It allows us each breath. Right? Now we're in estranged poetry. Yeah, I think about, like, the thing is, you just have to be able to get over it. Like, we can have a conversation like this. You know what I mean? It's on YouTube, so as long as my channel never goes away, it's here for somebody. And there's 4 other people in here watching. Supposedly there's 4 other people in here that have heard our conversation, you know? Who knows how far it'll go, but, you know? And essentially, as long as, like, YouTube lasts and as long as, like, I can keep it cool and not lose my cool on my channel should last for as long as YouTube does. You could look at it like that, like, this is just a bookmark into the future, you know? And just somebody can study just us sitting in a coffee shop and, you know, you, wherever you are, and we're having this experience and we're like trying to come up with things. You know, I've thought about that. But I think that, again, it's like, you know what? Maybe if we really understood, we would do. Maybe we should always hold in reservation our thought that we're doing anything extraordinary, because the more daunting the task, the more difficult it is to actually do itself. Maybe the greatest thing is actually the simplest thing, like you were kind of saying the other day, right? Maybe accomplishment is being able to say that everybody can do it. Maybe the more that what we understand, maybe the more we come to something that should be studied, it should be something that everybody understands or everybody knows or everybody thinks. What is the one thing that everybody thinks? Maybe that's more of a profound thought, even though it's maybe more mundane. Maybe it's more prophetic though, because it's innate to all of ourselves. Maybe we can come up with something that's a shared experience among all living things. But then maybe it's so primitive that we don't even know how to express it without actually it being life-threatening. Maybe a life-threatening thing is the most important thing, but we can't go there because obviously we're in an intellectual space. So maybe we'll never be able to truly reach what should be studied, right? And for that sake, for that cause, you should never look down on yourself. You should always just say, you know what, like, I will take the day as it is. I'll take the world as it is. Like, there is a mystery to all of this that is out of control. You know, the mystery is that it's all out of control. You know, but we're here. And you should just say that. The mystery is it's all out of control, but we're here. But we are here. And that should be real enough. That should 100% be real enough. There's understanding in everything right there. The mystery is everything's out of control, but we are here. You know, what's up, DTH? Are you like a fishing channel? You like make fishing lures or something? Sometimes I imagine I'm fishing with like all these like videos out on the internet, you know? I'm like deep sea fishing or something. Which, by the way, I really enjoy deep sea fishing. I love fishing from the ocean much more than like freshwater bodies. Freshwater fish stink. They smell bad. In my opinion, they smell too fishy. Oceanic fish smell a lot less fishy. You're beginning a business? Nice. What's your business? Is it lures? Is it actually stuff for fish? Yeah, cool. I grew up fishing, caught trout, bass, perch, bluegill, carp. My grandpa had a ranch and he had like lakes and streams on his ranch and he had carp in it, and I'd go catch carp and crawdads when I was a little kid, and I'd wander around through the dirt roads and have my fishing pole and tell my grandma I was going out to play and come up with some crawdads and try to catch the biggest carp you ever saw. Yeah. What if life is the dream, something else is experiencing some other life form or spirit? Yeah, you know, that's the what if game. You know what I mean? It's all the what if game kind of thing. You ever heard that, the what if game? We can play the what if game all day kind of thing. I think dreams, though, they have the power of changing things, which again, I think it just means everything's out of control. You know, this new statement I would also categorize in the place where we say, you know, what if life is out of control? What if it's out of our hands? But we are here. You have to remember that. So we'll just read your statement. You know, what if life is the dream something else is experiencing? See, the negative or the underlying emotion, you can like feel out a sentence to like gauge its true identity, right? What if life is a dream, something else is experiencing, some other life form or spirit? So the underlying nature of this statement is that life isn't real. Our life isn't real. Does that mean it doesn't matter? So there's fear there. There's fear because it causes us a loss of direction, a loss of purpose, maybe a loss of understanding. We question ourselves and we question our environment around us, right? That's where Descartes' famous statement comes into play, like, I think, therefore I am, which they say in the French, it means like, I doubt, therefore I am, is what they say. He's just asking questions. We just ask questions. We just talk about whatever we want. This is our coffee time, basically every day. On my YouTube channel, I have my hours or whatever, and we just talk about everything, whatever comes up in our heads, basically. But I'm just saying, like, okay, so could we also say then, if we're saying life is a dream, we could say life is out of control? Because that's really what we're saying here again. We're saying that life is out of control. It's not within our control, but we are here. You have to acknowledge that, but we are here. It doesn't matter what it is. That is like a distinguishing statement, because it allows us to realize what we truly are and that we exist. No matter what we classify the existence as, we are here. See, then you can say, like, whatever, you can call it whatever. You can call reality whatever you want. A dream, a painting, a picture, a potion, a myriad, a temperament, a mood, whatever you want. But we are here. But we are here.
That makes sense.
So yeah, we talk about whatever. Come here and drink coffee, and after the gym, I tried to get myself addicted. Like, I was trying to get back in shape again, and I thought to myself, I wonder if I get myself addicted to something, like I need to reward myself. And so I thought, where can I go? And I thought, like, I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee like every day. I don't get anything elaborate or whatever, you know what I mean? Nothing like fancy, full of sugar or whatever else, just a cappuccino. Come and have a cappuccino and we talk. However long we talk for. Sometimes nobody shows up, sometimes a lot of people show up, sometimes there's like 10 people in here talking. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just me staring out the window, enjoying a cup of coffee. But I'm here, usually. I have my schedule. It's a place called Beans and Brews. I think it's a local franchise. It's in Utah. And not a lot of people drink coffee here. Like in Utah, it's like, we're kind of outcast a little bit. I've just been to school and been corrupted by the whole educational system, is what my family would say. Yeah, like in Utah, it's like if you drink coffee, you're like kind of outcast. But as my family says, I went to college and got corrupted or whatever, you know? Because the collegiate system corrupts you and stuff, is what they say. So I drink coffee. But I'm old enough to be able to like come up with my own ideas and like be able to like defend my positions and my beliefs and everything like that, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty firm in my footing of what I think things are, you know, and stuff like that. I mostly believe in science, but I believe in as much magic as somebody can express and explain. You know, because I believe that the universe exists in a point of existence, but this thing, as much as it experiences anything, it's never experienced anything at all. Which means that expression is free. Expression of everything is free and is as real as anything. So you're free to express whatever you want. At least in my religion, so that's what we're calling my religion. I made up a name for a religion once. I called it Apollo Pollutionistic. I just tried to come up with a really long name that like rolled off the tongue, kind of. It's like we get lost in all the pollution and we just see the color Are we high or are we dying? Kind of thing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. But my coffee's almost gone. We've almost talked about the entire universe and aliens. What are some of my hobbies? Oh, you know what? Right now I live a pretty I would say I live a pretty minimal lifestyle. Right? I don't really have much of an income or anything like that. I am a college graduate, but I graduated with an interdisciplinary studies degree, so it's like a general's degree. I try to stay healthy, and like I try to focus on my core values. My hobbies, a lot of it is like writing. On Sunday I made a song. I called it Ratworth. It's on my videos. If you click on my videos and you look at my most recent videos, those 2 videos are songs that I made. One of them I made with Biggs in here, but I mean, I write because it's cheap, you know? So it's like, some of my hobbies are like I write, I play video games, I stream, I go to the gym. I make content and stuff like that, you know, but I'm pretty minimalistic at the moment just because I think that I am limited a lot by funds, you know? And so I have my routine posted on my YouTube channel, but it's like I wake up at 6, I watch the news, I drink a vitamin drink, and then I get ready for the day, I go to the gym, I then go to the coffee shop, then I go and have breakfast, I stream, eat, stream, go to the gym, go to the coffee shop, go home, have dinner, then I decide what I'm gonna do for the night. So I live a pretty cheap lifestyle, you know? If you boil it down, like I spend less than like $12 a day. You know, I don't spend much money. I don't know if that'll change in the future, but I feel like it's always a good idea to just be able to be happy with as little as you can, so that any gains are always positive, no matter what they are. So, but growing up, I mean, I used to like love the outdoors and, you know, traveling and math and science. I loved math and science. It just felt like a way to create, you know, like the ability to actually formulate and create and compose something in this world. What else? I mean, I grew up playing music. I love a really compelling music piece. I like clothing and fashion. I like changing up my appearance every once in a while. I've dilly dabbled in like art. The thumbnail for this is something I drew. It's just, you know, just something I just made up. But I've enjoyed writing, but sometimes it's just become too much. Like, you know, I've tried carving, I've tried writing, I've tried sculpting, I've tried, you know, whatever. I've tried hunting, I don't know, whatever. I've tried it all, basically. I saved up money and I traveled to Europe. All right, yeah, for sure, DTH. You have a good one, man. I'm about out of here anyways, too. I'm gonna finish my coffee and get out. Cool. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. It's been a great little session. You'll be here for next stream. Go onto my channel and click the about button, and you'll be able to see my schedule. And you can come to whatever you want. You'll know what I'll be doing. So just click on that, and it will tell you what times I do different things. And then you'll know, like, oh, is it the gym or whatever? Yeah. So you can show up to whatever ones you want. A lot of people only come to this coffee one because they like talking about different things or whatever. So, but all right, I'm gonna head out. So I'll see you too. But anyways, guys, it was great. I'll see you later. Bye.